Hello friends, welcome to Total Recaps. Today we are going to explain the movie named Chichore, which was released in 2019. The plot of the film is that a tragic incident forces Anirudh, a middle-aged man, to take a trip down memory lane and reminisce his college days along with his friends, who were labeled as losers. So friends, sit down with popcorns and enjoy this comedy/romance movie. The story begins with the main character of the movie, Anirudh aka Ani, who has become a very rich man, and as Ani goes home, he asks his caretaker about his son, Raghav. But Raghav was very worried about his IIT entrance exam result. After some time, Raghav's father Anirudh brings food for him, and he forbids his son from taking so much tension and asks him to stay cool. Here we also learn that Anirudh and his wife Maya are divorced and their son is with Anirudh. Actually, Anirudh and Maya met each other in their engineering college and later fell in love, then got married and finally got divorced due to some misunderstandings. But after a few days in every month, Raghav go to meet his mother as well. In the next scene, it is night and Anirudh brings a bottle of wine for his son Raghav and says that, when your result comes and you pass, we will drink it together. After a few days, Raghav's result comes but he fails. That's why his dream of going to IIT doesn't get fulfilled. Now he was taking too much load of the result. Raghav was saying that, now his friends and everyone else will call him a loser for the rest of his life. Due to this tension, Raghav tried to commit suicide by jumping down from the balcony. After this, when Raghav's friend gives this news to Raghav's parents, they get completely shocked. When they saw the condition of their son, both of them started crying profusely. After this, Dr. Sumit, who is operating on Raghav, tells both of them that your son has suffered a severe brain injury, and if his brain swelling increases, then Raghav may have to undergo brain surgery. After this, many days pass, but in Raghav's case the doctor could not see any improvement. Then Dr. Sumit explains that he has seen patients recover from critical to critical situation because they want to live, but in Raghav's case he feels as he doesn't want to live anymore. Hearing this, Anirudh thinks that Raghav doesn't want to live because he feels that everyone will consider him a loser because he could not clear an exam. So here Anirudh takes a decision. He goes home and finds his college diary. Here Anirudh sees some photos of his college time and decides that he will tell the whole story of his college to his son Raghav, and tells that he himself was a big loser and all his other friends were also big losers. After this, Anirudh starts telling the story of his college to his son. Anirudh's college name is Indian Institute of Technology Mumbai, which was the best engineering college in India. Where first his name changes from Anirudh to Ani. Actually all the kids in the hostel had nicknames, and after that he gets a small room in hostel number 4. Where the most inept and mischievous kids of the college lived. Ani's first meeting is with Sexa, who is loser number 1. This nickname of Sexa was given because thoughts about sex kept running in his mind all the time. Ani stays in hostel 4 only for 2 days, and then he writes an application to change the hostel and gives it to the office. But meanwhile, Raghav starts regaining consciousness. That's why Ani has to stop her story here and go out, and after some time Raghav regains full consciousness. Now he could hear and speak a little. Due to this, Ani comes to know that Raghav was listening to him whole time. Now Ani and Maya both go to meet Raghav. But Raghav could not believe that his father was really a big loser in college. Now to convince Raghav, Ani thinks of introducing Sexa to Raghav. But Ani no longer had any contact with Sexa. Even Ani did not know Sexa's real name. But then he remembers that once Sexa's father had come to meet him and had revealed Sexa's real name as Gurmeet Singh Dillon. After this, Ani finds Sexa on social media, and then Ani calls him and tells him about his entire condition. After hearing this, Sexa agrees to come to India and cancels all his meetings. Coming to India, he meets Ani and Maya, and then all three go to meet Raghav as well, and here Raghav is convinced that the story his father was telling him is true. Next story, Sexa tells Raghav that the number of girls in his college was very less, and when Maya came to that college all the boys wanted to make her their girlfriend, and Ani also wanted the same. In no time the doctor comes to the ICU and asks Raghav to rest as it is night. Now after that they decide to invite the rest of their team members to the hospital. After this we are introduced to loser number 2 and 3. Loser number 2 Mummy and loser number 4 Acid. This name of Acid was given because he used to top studies in school, but as soon as he came to college, his concentration was removed from studies. He also started getting very angry. That's why he was named Acid, and Mummy was named Mummy because he was very weak of heart and used to say mummy mummy on everything. Later in the night, Sexa and Acid are ragging Mummy and Ani and also ask both to go to the girls' hostel and bring girls' clothes. After this, both of them go to the girls' hostel, where Ani encounters Maya, and Ani gets very nervous while talking for the first time. But here the mummy musters courage and asks Maya for some girls' clothes. From that day onwards, Ani started approaching Maya every day, and even after a few more meetings, Ani even takes Maya to watch movies. Now Maya was also getting attracted to Ani, and once she herself approached Ani, now both of them have become very good friends. But on the other hand, doctors tell Ani and Maya that there is no improvement in Raghav's health. But the good thing was that his health was not deteriorating now, and perhaps it was because Raghav was now liking the story of his parents. Due to this, now in the story, we come to know that there is a general championship every year in Ani's college, which is won by Hostel 3 players every year. There were many games in this championship like football, cricket, chess, etc. The students of Hostel 3 were also preparing for this year's championship, and the top player of Hostel 3, Reggie, was preparing the players for different games. Now since Ani was a national basketball player and had also applied to change his hostel, Reggie thinks of selecting Ani. Ani and Reggie meet the next day, and Reggie offers Ani to come to H3. But now Ani himself does not want to leave H4 and move to H3. That's why Ani flatly refuses Reggie to change his hostel. After this, H4 senior Derek comes to know about Ani, who was the loser number 4, and then he tells Ani why Reggie wanted him to be in H3 as he had to win GC this time also. Along with this, Derek also informs Ani about all the upcoming games and shows the college board, where H4 has not won the GC even once in the last 15 years, so Ani is determined that he will win this championship this time. But Derek says, "I have been trying for the last 3 years, but we have not won a single match, and I was also tagged as a loser." But now Ani convinces Derek to play the championship one last time to remove the tag of loser. Derek thinks about it for 2 days, and then finally he too agrees to play GC this time for his hostel. But there were some players with them who were also very weak in their game, and as soon as the GC selections were over, all the H4 players realized that their situation in GC was very bad. Next day we are shown the current situation where Ani and all his friends stay at his house. But now, since it's been a long time since they all left their work and came to meet Raghav, Ani asks all of them to go back. But none of them are ready to go back to their home till Raghav is fully recovered, and in the meanwhile the most interesting character of the story, Bevda, enters, who was a great chess player in college. The reason behind everyone called him Bevda because he used to drink a lot of alcohol. Loser number 5. But now all of them take a decision that Mummy will not talk to his mom till H4 not wins GC, Derek will stop smoking cigarette, Bevda will not drink alcohol, Acid will not abuse, Ani will not talk to Maya, and Sexa will not masturbate. All of them had taken the pledge, but it was becoming very difficult for everyone to control their weakness, and on top of that these people were not even winning any match in GC at that time. Meanwhile, Bevda, who used to drink a lot of alcohol, but now because of not drinking alcohol, paining starts his stomach and he is admitted to the hospital. But Ani still does not give up and makes 3 plans that can help his team win. The first plan is that they will put so much pressure on their operation team that their opposition team becomes distracted and nervous and their idea starts working. After this, Ani tells his plan number 2, in which Maya used to call the main player of the opposition team at 3 o'clock in the night and talk to him the whole night. Due to this, the player could not sleep properly, and the next day his performance would have been very bad on the field. And the last plan number 3 was that they would confuse the opposition team in every match, like in Kabaddi they made the chef who cooks vegetables in the mess as their coach, due to which fear used to sit in the mind of the opposition team. Now they started winning all their matches, and to celebrate this victory, he went to a hotel where H3 players also come, and then there is some debate between these 2 teams, and then there is a fierce fight between them. But in the meantime, Mummy, who was H4's Karam player, gets hurt, and H4 needed gold in Karam to win GC because their players were too weak for any other sports. But in the end, Derek and Ani thinks of bringing God in 42 kilograms weightlifting, and meanwhile he sees Abhimanyu, whose weight was 44 kilograms. But these people reduced his weight to 42 kilograms by making him practice hard. But in the match, a girl from H10 came to compete with Abhimanyu. Now Abhimanyu had only reduced his weight, he had not practiced weightlifting. But still he tries very hard and wins gold in weightlifting. Now Bevda also returns after being discharged from the hospital. Now H4 was only 5 points behind H3, and now directly comes the final day, in which H4 had 3 matches and all 3 were with H3. First chess, in which they all was sure Bevda would take the gold medal, second 4x400-meter relay in which the team was expected to bring gold medal over Acid and Derek. But the basketball match was going to be tough for them. After this, the scene shifts to the current situation, where Dr. Sumit tells Ani and Maya that he is not seeing any improvement in Raghav's health. If the swelling in the brain increases further by tomorrow, he will have to undergo surgery. In such a situation, if anything happens to the patient during the surgery, then the doctor also gets a consent form signed by Ani. But a few hours after this, the bleeding in Raghav's brain increased, due to which the doctor had no other option to do his brain surgery. But here Ani requests the doctor to let them all meet with Raghav just for 10 minutes so that they can tell the climax of his story. The doctor finds this thing very strange, but he finally gives its permission. We are then shown a scene where Reggie plans to beat H4 in all 3 matches tomorrow. After this, he first comes to Bevda's room and gives him a bottle of liquor, and Bevda comes back the next morning after drinking alcohol before his match. Due to which he starts losing chess, and Reggie's second plan was that he will injure Derek's feet so that he can't run properly, although he succeeds in this. Now we are also shown a basketball match where all the audience was cheering up H3 this time. Due to which the H4 team gets a little nervous in the starting. But the same we all know after some time that in reality Bevda had not come drunk, he was just pretending to be an alcoholic. But the player of H3 thought that Bevda would lose after drinking alcohol, but in the end Bevda won the match. And despite his leg injury, Derek ran very fast in the relay, and he also won the gold medal in the relay. Now all eyes were on Ani, and H3's score was 65 and H4's score was 63, and only 6 seconds were left in the match. H4 needed 3 scores to win, so Ani tries for 3 scores. Here we get to see the biggest twist in the story. When Ani misses his last move and here H4 the team loses GC. Raghav was also very emotional after hearing this story, but everyone here says that, after that day we were removed from the tag of losers because on that day Reggie appreciated H4 for performing well in all games. After which everyone in the stadium was applauding loudly for H4's winning attempt. Now it was time for Raghav's surgery, and when the doctor starts taking Raghav to the operation theater, Ani tells him that, "Son, in the operation theater you fight like a fighter, not like a loser, and come out fine." In the next scene, we get to see that Raghav has completely recovered and his college has started, and he too got a badass friend in the beginning just like Sexa. This movie teaches us that we think so much about success and failure that we forget to live life. The most important thing in life is life itself.